Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Drums and Drams. My name's Cameron, and today we're gonna do a very quick review of the newest batch of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof batch C924. This is clocking in at 129 proof or 64.5% ABV, and it carries with it an 11-year age statement. Now, typically in a lot of these reviews, I'll do comparisons at the end of the video. I thought about B524 and C923, but at the end of the day, I wanna keep this nice and short because maybe you're standing in the store right now, looking at this bottle, wondering if you should pick it up. Maybe you're thinking about whether you should be hunting it or not this allocation season. I wanna give you an answer as quickly as possible. So I'm gonna stop talking, and I'm gonna start smelling some whiskey. Let's check this out now on the nose and see what we get. All right, so first impression on the nose is that this is a very dark, rich, dense, and concentrated batch of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. And I think you could probably say that feasibly about a lot of batches of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, but I will say I have compared this to some other recent ones. We're not gonna do that in this video, but look, it stands out. It is laser focused. It's an oak bomb, tons and tons of like burnt caramels, burnt toffee notes on the nose, and it's very aromatic as far as the spice profile goes, like cinnamon stick and even a little bit of a cloviness in there, but definitely tons of brown sugar and nutmeg. It's about as classic as you can get. It's not very fruit forward. I would say it leans more on those caramelized notes, but the one thing I think on the nose that's gonna be divisive for a lot of people is the amount of nuttiness that you're gonna get on this whiskey. I'm very sensitive to peanut notes. Sometimes if it's foundational to a whiskey, I really like it, but other times if the whiskey is extremely dark, like this Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, the brightness of a nutty note in the whiskey just kind of takes away from the experience. Now, thankfully, this is not sharp peanut shells, you know, and kind of nasty nuttiness in here. This is more of like a peanut butter. It's rich, it's sweet, but I still think it takes a little bit of something away from the whiskey. So if you are standing in the store right now and you're not a peanut lover, this is not gonna be it for you. However, if you're either not offended by it or you like that kind of a profile, based on the nose, this is gonna be probably a home run because it delivers every part of 129 proof and then some. And again, it is just such a dark whiskey. Last thing I'm gonna say before I go back into the nose one more time is that the color of this whiskey, when you compare it to other batches of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, B524, C923, A123, this is remarkably darker than all of those recent batches, even the really good ones. I think that darkness to me makes me think perhaps this was pulled from a higher floor. A lot of the barrels, perhaps some of the barrels in here are older than 11 years old. This is all speculation at this point, but the dark color translates to the concentration on the nose. Hopefully that translates to the palate as well. I was gonna go back in for the nose, but you know what? Let's just have a sip of this whiskey. Cheers, guys. Okay, so let's talk about this whiskey now on the palate. And I know I'm grinning ear to ear right now, and it's because I'm really enjoying this. You know what? The palate lives up to the nose on this whiskey. It is so freaking dark and concentrated. If you just want a caramel oak bomb of a Kentucky bourbon that pulls no punches, is not layered and complex, it's very laser focused, it's down the middle, it's a heavy, heavy profile, this is gonna be it for you. I think the concentration on this whiskey is probably better than B524, which was a great batch, little overly spicy, chili pepper spices in that. And you know what? I actually think this is more concentrated than C923. I have done that side by side. If you guys want to see it, let me know in the comment section. I will do a separate video if there's demand for that. But this has more of a broad, rich foundation to the whiskey. And again, like C923 doesn't quite have that. It's a little more spicy and actually a little funkier oak, which is cool. It's fruitier, funkier, got a lot of complexity going on. This is it's just a caramel oak bomb. It's great and spicy. The nuttiness does stand out on the palate, but I think this is so fun to drink, and so I'm gonna have one more sip of it. We'll keep nerding out about it, and then we'll wrap this video up. Cheers. Listen, you gotta get to the second sip on this whiskey because the first sip really smacks you in the face. Your mouth is watering. You can't even, like for me making this video, can't even form sentences because it just continues to go and go. Second sip, so much chocolate in this whiskey now. A little bit of a bittersweet quality that plays along with that semi-savory, very cooked down, concentrated oak profile. I know I've said the word concentrated 1,000 times in this video. I do apologize for that, but it's the best word to describe this profile. Classic, concentrated, laser focused, down the middle. It's just delicious whiskey. I think for me, if you're a nutty whiskey hater, that is the only person that should not pick this batch up. Anybody else at SRP, I recommend this batch wholeheartedly. Please understand, you know, if you watch this video, if you typically align with my palate, understand what I think you're getting is not a layered, complex whiskey. It's not the funky Elijah Craig barrel proof of years past. This is dark. This is intense. It's gonna smack you in the face in the best of ways. It's gonna appeal to proof hounds, but it's not a bunch of spice for the sake of spice. It's actually all flavor. And so highly recommended. I would pay up to $100 for this batch. I think it's fantastic stuff. That's gonna do it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon. Cheers, and I'll see you soon here on Drums and Drams.